Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope that everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend and you guys had fun yesterday. And this week we are going to be starting to talk about angles and angle relationships. And just to review, I want to go over what an angle is. And so an angle is made up of two rays, and a ray has an end point, and then it goes on in one direction forever. So here is one ray, and I'm going to draw a second ray that intersects this first one. And together they create this angle right here. This vocabulary word is the vertex. So that is where the two rays intersect. So we have ray 1 and ray 2. And they intersect at the vertex. And so today we're going to talk about two different things. We're going to talk about, first of all, some different types of angles, which you should have talked about probably in elementary school. And we're also going to review how to name angles. So let's look at these first few angles. So here's our first set of angles, and again, we have two rays that intersect at this vertex. And at the vertex, you see this symbol right here, and this means that this is a 90-degree angle. Angles are measured in degrees. And over here at the vertex, you also see that symbol. So again, this is a 90-degree angle. So think about like the corner of something, like the corner of a piece of paper makes a 90-degree angle. And what are those angles called? They are right angles. And a right angle has to measure exactly 90 degrees. Okay, moving on. Let's see these angles. Again, this is the vertex here, where the two rays intersect. And here's the vertex with this second angle. And so these angles, it looks like these angles are less than 90 degrees. And if they're less than 90 degrees, they are acute angles. So an acute angle measures less than 90 degrees. So this one's pretty close to 90 degrees. A 90-degree angle would look something like this. So I would probably imagine that this might be 80 or 85 degrees. And this one over here looks to be about half of the 90-degree angle, so I would say this is between 40 and 50 degrees. But in order to know for sure, we would have to measure them with a protractor. So those are acute angles. Now we are going to move on. And these angles look to be greater than 90 degrees. So a 90-degree angle would be right here, and this is definitely greater, and that's called an obtuse angle. So an obtuse angle has to measure more than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. And so this is also an obtuse angle because that right angle would be right here. So that is definitely opening a little wider than a 90-degree angle. And our last type of angle, so far we've talked about right angles, acute angles, and obtuse angles. And our last type of angle now looks like this. And this is a straight line. Here's our vertex. And here's one ray. Here's the second ray. And so that creates a straight line. And so this is a straight angle. And a straight angle measures exactly 180 degrees. So there are 4 types of angles. I'll write them down here again. We have right angles, acute angles that are less than 90 degrees, obtuse angles between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, and straight angles. So you have to know the vocabulary to identify the angle. And now we're going to move on to naming angles. And so there are really 3 different ways that we could name angles. And so if we look at this angle, we have these 2 rays intersecting at this vertex. And so each point of the ray, I'm going to assign a different letter. And so I'm going to say this point is F, U, and N. And so this angle could have we could name it 2 different ways. And I'm going to use this symbol. That means angle. I could start over here at this ray, start at point F, then go to the vertex of U, and then around to N. So it could be angle F, U, N. Angle fun. Or I could start over here at point N and go in the other direction. So it could be angle N, U, F. So these are all correct ways of naming this angle. We cannot start at the vertex and name it angle U, F, N. That is not correct. We can't start at the vertex. We also could not name it angle U, N, F. We have to start at one of the points on the ray and then work our way around. We could also, just have a letter at the vertex. So let's say that at this vertex I have a C. So there's only one way of naming that angle, and that is angle C, because we don't have any other points on the ray. And lastly, with this right angle, you could say this is angle one, and that would be the name, just angle 1. So again, the symbol for angle looks like this. So those are the 4 different types of angles and how we name angles. And in our next video, we are going to talk about some relationships between angles. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.